are excited over. I like it whenever kids are like, or like people in general are excited over something. So if you find something that, you know, gets you all excited, awesome, great job. Thank you, Sebastian. All right, guys. So, oops. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, my daughter's trying to get me into anime, and thank you, Tonya. But I don't know. I went through my anime phase. I'm kind of over it, but I don't know, maybe. Like I said, I'm kind of in like this weird state, so I don't know. All right, guys. So I noticed a few things about the homework that you guys were doing. For those of you guys who did try it, I saw a lot of little tiny mistakes that you guys were making. So I'm going to address that first, and then we're going to go into today's activity. So I kind of did it a different way with first period, and I kind of think that I should talk about last night's homework first and then today's. So we're gonna do the first one of the questions from last night's homework. So I'm gonna put that into chat. So I'm actually gonna look to Monday. And I'm gonna put that into chat. So I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna put it into chat. Someone's trying to get in and their internet says no. So that link right there is for yesterday's homework. Some of you guys have already started on it. Some of you guys have not. And it looks like this. We did question 3 together. But as I was seeing you guys do these, you guys were getting these fine. This one, you guys are solving it wrong. You end up getting 2x or like negative 2x over 6. And a lot of you guys are saying that this is negative 3x. It's not negative 3x. It's negative 1 over 3. Because the 6 is down here at the bottom. So be careful with this one. That's the only thing that I'm going to tell you. And it's the same thing for both of these. So it should be negative 1 over 3x, and you should have, no, it's not negative. Just kidding. It's 1 over 3. And then the other one should be 1 over 2, 1 over 2. But you should have fractions for slopes for both of these. Hey, David, we are working on yesterday's homework real quick. I want to show you guys a mistake that I've been seeing on a lot of people doing them. Oh, you know, sometimes you know, thank you, David, for your birthday. Sometimes your siblings are actually being nice to you, but because they're mean to you so often, you're like, I don't know if I can trust you. So yeah, both of the slopes should be, one should be 1 over 3, and then the other one should be 1 over 2. If you guys get that, then you guys should get the question right. But this should be fractions for slopes, not whole numbers. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you for that one. But I want to talk to you guys about question 1. And once I show you guys question 1, you should be able to do the others just fine. So you're going to have one of each of these. So you should have one that's one solution, one that's no solution, and one that's infinitely many. So you'll have one of each. So that's another clue that you guys can write somewhere. It's like one of each. All right. So I'm going to zoom in a lot to question 1 on page 2. Again, this is your homework, the one that I have in chat. And I'm going to show you guys how to solve this one and what the mistakes that you've been making are, so that you guys don't do that moving forward. So I'm going to type these. Remember, you guys should show work either on the bottom or on a separate sheet of paper. Make sure that you guys are attaching that so that I can see your work, or else I do dock some points. And I already see here, I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna plug it into this y. I'm gonna put 6x minus 2 parentheses. I'm gonna change this color, 3x plus 1. And everything else comes down, equals 5. So I'm replacing this y with this piece right here. And that's what we're kind of going to be doing today as well with our activity. And a lot of people in period 1, once we did that activity, all of substitution became a whole lot easier. So, and that's them telling me, not me just assuming. All right, so let's solve this. Nothing happens to this 6x, so I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to distribute. So this whole -2 needs to be distributed. And a lot of you guys aren't doing that piece either. So make sure that you are dividing, multiplying -2 to the 3x. Weird stuff is happening right now. I feel like my house is haunted, or it's the book that I've been reading. I've been reading a scary book, and now I'm like all paranoid. So -2 times 3x gives me a -6x. And then I'm going to distribute again. -2 times a +1. A negative times a positive gives me a negative. And it's going to be a -2. Equals 5, because I didn't do anything to that 5. I'm going to grab this piece that was new, and I'm going to change it to red. Do you have to change the colors? No, but I'm doing this so that you guys can see which is like what is being changed at every step, so that it might make things a little bit easier for you guys. So this piece right here is actually not the piece that you guys have been messing up on. And again, you guys, as in like the 3 or 4 people who have already turned this in. The mistake that people have been making is this piece right here. You guys see this piece and you go, okay, I have 6x. I subtract 6x, so I get 0 x's. What does 0 x's mean? It means you have nothing. So there's no reason to put any x's left. What you guys should have is just -2 equals 5. That should be your answer. However, I keep seeing people do this after that. I see people.
I don't understand. I see people. But I could.
Okay, now Siri is, okay. I'm like, my whole computer is haunted. Hands down. Yeah, apparently Siri got like, oh, like it keeps thinking that I'm talking to SIRI. But if I say it, yeah, like I could have sworn like a piece of paper like moved over here, and then yeah, don't trust machines. No, yeah, Siri decided to no, don't copy me. That I was talking to her instead of to you guys. So for those out in YouTube land, if you don't see me ever again after this, come find my dead body, apparently. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God. Okay, so mistakes that you guys are making. This is what you should have gotten. Is this true? -2 equals 5. No. The answer is no solution. That is what you guys should have gotten. So you should have gotten that. However, I had some kids do this where they were either adding 2 to both sides and getting 7, and somehow an x randomly appeared and got x equals 7, Or I had kids do 5 minus 2 and got 3. And again, somehow magically an X popped out of nowhere and they said X equals 3. And then they plugged it into this and then got a 1 solution. If you get the same number on both sides, or like you get something like this, 6x minus 6x, your x's go away. This is actually nice. This is what you want. It rarely ever happens, but this is what you would like, because then you get to stop right here, not have to plug it in again, and just say it's no solution. So one of these two is going to be similar to this one. So be careful as you guys are solving these. Watch your x's. If you can cross these out, cool. They completely go away, and it's okay to get rid of your x's if you can. And then you would be left over with 2 numbers, and you see if it's true. Is this true? No, no solution. If it was like 5 equals 5 though, is that true? Yeah. So then you can say it's infinitely many solutions. All right. Does that help you guys, especially for those of you guys who already did this assignment? Thumbs up. Do you guys understand that piece now? Clap if no, I have still no idea. And hopefully after today's activity, you'll understand substitution a little bit more. If, my computer doesn't randomly decide to take over the world. All right. So that was yesterday's assignment. You guys can keep working on that. What are we doing for today? Today's activity, nope. You know what? It's also because of Stranger Things. Maybe 11's trying to come and get us. I have really bad jokes, guys. Really bad jokes. I am the queen of bad jokes. All right. That is the link for today's activity. So if you guys can all click on that, make sure to log in. I'm going to type in my name. I'm going to apparently zoom in a lot. And it looks like this. So I will look and see who is participating with me. I see Jade, Manny. Some of you guys already started. Manny Fed, Kime, Emily, Catherine, Lizette, Juan, Natalie, Selena. Awesome job, guys. All right, so I see you guys there. So this activity was made by Ms. Gomez last quarter with our last set of kids, because she saw that the kids were still struggling after a couple of days of us doing substitution. And since we all learn differently, she thought of this idea of moving pieces around so that you're physically moving them, and maybe that will get you guys having a light bulb a little bit better. After I did this with last period, it is working, and it makes a lot of kids were feeling a lot more comfortable, and a lot of that stress and anxiety of learning something new really went away after this activity. So keep an open mind as we are doing this. And hopefully, like with first period, you guys feel the same way, that this makes substitution make a lot more sense. So we're going to go through these. Some of you guys don't need too much direction. So once you're done with question 1, you guys can move ahead and do all the other ones and then start working on your homework. I'm going to show how to do question 1. And then I'm going to show you guys the homework, just in case you guys want to get started on that as I'm going through this, and you're going through a lot quicker than I am. All right. Okay. So it says here, solve the system, the linear system of equations using substitution. You have these 2 equations. The first step is to recreate the equations using the pieces here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys. And all you're doing is you're taking these pieces And you're going to work through these equations. So all you're doing is rebuilding them. So I have a y because there's a y. I have an equal sign, so find an equal sign. And 3x minus 4. It's right here. Now I'm going to build the next one. 4x plus 3y equals 1. So here's 4x plus 3. This is broken. So that's probably going to give me an idea that something's going to be done. Equals 1. The next step is that it says now literally substitute or replace the expression with the y. So as you're going forward with the other slides, I still want you guys to put the pieces in the correct spot first. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move these pieces. Physically move the y out because we don't need it because it says y equals. And we're going to replace that y with this piece of the equation. So you're taking the whole equation and you're plugging it into that second equation. That is the whole idea of substitution, and that's the hardest part. The reason why I want you guys to still do that for all the other ones is because if you guys do this step of this goes away and this comes in, when you're doing just the normal equations, your light bulb goes in of, oh, I need to make that switch. So something goes out and then something comes in and replacing that. So again, you're going to build your equations. You're going to take this y out because it says y equals, and you're going to plug that into that spot. You can't move your pieces. Are you using this select tool? Refresh your screen. Oh, there you are. You moved some of your pieces. You moved them down here, though. Yeah, you move them here, and you're not supposed to move them here. You're supposed to leave them in this box right here. And if you want, I would backspace them, and then it'll probably put them back to where you had them in the first place. Now, if you did this correctly, okay, hold on one sec then. So if you did this correctly, go into the green box. And then I want you guys to type in this equation with no spaces whatsoever. Because some of you guys are not following directions, and I think that's kind of messing you guys up. So you're going to type it in with no spaces. So exactly how you guys see it with parentheses and everything. I'm going to type in 4x plus 3 and I'm going to put parentheses 3x minus 4 parentheses equals 1. And if you click out, you should either see that you got a 1 out of 1, or up here on the top, you'll see that you got a 1. And then, Emily, if you're not able to move the pieces, just type in the box and then don't worry about the pieces, because I already know that it's messing up for you anyways. And then you can just do the bottom pieces, but you should be able to do move the other pieces on the other slides. And if not, again, don't worry about it and we'll just continue doing it this way. I see all of you guys getting those 1 points. Awesome, awesome. All right, from here, we're gonna solve it. So we're gonna take this whole equation and we're going to type it down here. Do you have to type it? No. I like to type it just because it makes it look nice and neat and easy to read. But I can also write it all. Oops, I forgot an X. And then from here, we're going to solve it. Now, be careful, guys, like I just did. I accidentally forgot to do the X. Whenever you're typing or you're writing your equations, and that's, you know, on computers or in life, look and double check and make sure that you guys wrote it correctly. A lot of times you guys are moving so fast that you guys accidentally write it wrong and then you solve the wrong problem. So be careful. All right, nothing's gonna happen to this 4x, so I'm gonna bring it down. I am going to distribute. What am I distributing? I am distributing this whole 3. It's positive, so I don't have to worry about the sign. So 3 times 3, that's gonna give me a positive 9x. Positive 3 times a negative 4. Positive 3 times a negative 4 gives me a negative 12. And then nothing happened to that 1, so it comes down. And let me change that color so that you guys can see that. We see we have 3 numbers on the left, so we have to combine like terms. Yes, I either want to see you guys type in the work or write the work. You do need to show your work, yeah. So I don't want you guys just writing the answers. I want to see your guys' work. And might as well get used to writing it on here because you're going to have to do that on your test anyways. So yes, you do need to show all of this. I have both of these two X's. So I can combine them. I have $4. I get $9 more. So how much money do I have? I have 13. Woo, I actually have money. Minus 12 equals what? It is so rare for me to earn money and not owe you guys any money. From here, I can't type anymore. I have to draw it all. So I need to get this 13x by itself. So I need to get rid of that 12. How do I get rid of it? I'm going to do an upside down T. Instead of a negative 12, I'm going to add 12 to both sides because that's the opposite. So add 12. Bring down my 13x. So 13x. The 12s go away. Equals 1 plus 12 is 13. Divide both of these by 13. And I get x equals 1. Now, do yourself a favor, guys. Once you guys have solved, put it into your solution and put them into the correct spot. Some of you guys, when you guys were doing your work, you guys would solve it and this would say like y equals 1, and then somehow it would get into the x spot. Or you would solve for x and it would be in the y spot. So once you solve it, put it into the correct spot. This is my x, so I'm going to put in a 1. You should see another point, so now you should have 2 out of 3 points. Some of you guys are already at 3 out of 3. Nice job. Some of you guys are at 2. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, what did we do from here? What we did from here is we grab this 1 and we're going to replace it into our original equation, the piece that we moved into the equation. So we're going to grab that 1 and go, whee! and plug it into X. So I'm going to get Y equals 3 times X turns into a 1 minus 4. What's 3 times 1? Y equals 3 minus 4. Y equals, be careful on this part. A lot of you guys would just write 1. And if you type it here, it's going to tell you guys that you are wrong. And some of you guys will be like, close enough. And then you guys leave it like that. No. This should be a negative 1 because I have $3 and I want to spend 4. So I need $1 more. So this does need that negative sign. The 1 comes from right here. So I solved it. I got 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. I plug it into my X. So I get 3 times 1. Three times 1 gives me a 3. And then 3 minus 4 gives me a negative 1. Does that make sense? Oh, all right. So now you guys should have 3 points out of 3 points. And I see a lot of you guys have gotten that. Some of you guys are still finishing that up. I see those 3s. Beautiful. Love those 3s. So as we're going through this, you guys, I don't see anyone moving crazy ahead. So I'm actually going to wait on doing the homework until I see someone, is already done. I want you guys to try and do these on your own. I am going to get you guys started with putting the equation. So again, that first piece that we're doing is grabbing those variables or those pieces, and we're going to build. Even though you might know what you're doing, still build it. You're building muscle memory this way. So I have 6x minus 2. I have this y extra. I have the equal sign. And I have the 8. Double check and make sure all your pieces have been used. Awesome. And then again, physically move these pieces over and make space. This y is going to go back because we don't need it anymore. And this 2x comes inside. Doing that process again builds that muscle memory that something goes out and something comes in. So you want to build that memory bank of, steps. That goes out, this comes in. That goes out, this comes in. You guys can double check and make sure that this was done correctly. 6x minus 2 parentheses 2x equals 8. Did you do this right? It should give you a +1. Again, 0 spaces. You got the pieces to work. Nice. And I'm slowly going to be building this. The idea behind it is I want you guys to try and do this on your own, but I will slowly start building it. So I should have 6x minus 2 parentheses 2x equals 8. We're going to be simplifying our equations. This one should be a little bit faster, a little bit easier because we're going to end up combining a lot of things very quickly. So looking at this, again, nothing happens to that 6x. So I'm going to bring that down. I am going to multiply this -2 with this 2x. There's not a second term, so this one's going to be nice and easy. Negative times a positive. Oops. gives me a negative. 2 times 2 gives me a 4x. X equals 8. So again, a little bit different than what we've been doing, but this actually has less steps. So again, it's a nice baby step into learning how to do this on your own. We're gonna combine like terms. Both of these have x's, so I can add them together or subtract them depending on the sign. I have $6. I want to spend 4. So woohoo, I still have $2 left. Equals 8. So unlike what we did last time where we had to do the upside down T, this does not need it. We're just going to go straight to dividing. So I'm going to divide by 2. My 2's go away. And I'm left with x equals 2 goes into 8 4 times. So let's see if I did it right. I should go into my x. Again, this should be x. And this should be y. So click there, type in a 4, and boom, I should have 2 points. So a lot of you guys are getting those 2 points. Ooh, I see a lot of 3s already. Awesome job, guys. If you guys want to go over to that third slide, you guys can. So I'm going to take this 4. Let's do blue. I'm going to take this 4. And I'm going to go, ooh, and I'm going to plug that into this x right here. Remember, that's the original that we moved. That's that piece that we moved. So I get y equals 2 parentheses 4. And what's 4 times 2? 8. So if I click here, I should have an 8, and boom, I have all 3 points. I will zoom out for any of you guys who needed to take a screenshot of that. But I see a lot of 3s. A lot of 2s turning into 3s, so good job, guys. Hey, Manuel, can you put your birthday in the chat, please? Thank you. All right, guys. So let's move on to that last page. Some of you guys are already there. You're already beating me. Ooh. So quickly. All right. So again, even though you might already know the process, work through it and build your equations. So y equals x plus 4. I'm going to build that second equation, negative 2x plus 3. I need that y. I need that equals. And I need that 6. By the way, Emmanuel, if you are looking for today's activity, it is going to be posted into chat. That is the activity that we're working on right now. We're going to move these pieces just to make space. I'm going to physically move that y over and plug in that x plus 4 into its spot. And I'm going to see if I did it correctly by typing in that answer. Again, no spaces. X plus 4 equals 6. Click out, and yes, I got a 1 point there, 1 point there. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to write that equation right here. So I get negative 2x plus 3 parentheses x plus 4 equals 6. Ah, I see so many threes already. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So from here, I'm gonna put in that, I'm gonna bring down that negative 2x. I have a positive 3 that I'm going to distribute. So 3 times x gives me a positive 3x. Positive 3 times a positive 4. 3 times 4 gives me a positive 12. Bring down that 6. Oops. See if I can combine any like terms. I have 2 x's right here, so I can combine them. This was right though. So I owe you $2, but I earned 3. So that actually means that you guys, I get an extra $1, or I have an extra $1, and everything else comes down. So I still have money after I pay you guys. This is going to be red. From here, I need to draw. So I need to get rid of this 12. So I am going to subtract 12 from both sides. And unlike before, this is only a 1, so I don't actually have to write that. I can just leave it as an x equals, my 12s go away. I have $6, but I want to spend 12, so I need $6. So let's see if this is right. I'm going to put that into my x again. This is my x. This is my y. So if I put it here, -6, click out, woohoo! I have 2 points. And last step, green. I'm going to grab this -6, and I'm going a little bit quicker just because a lot of you guys are already done and waiting on me to do the homework. Y equals, instead of that 6, I'm going to put in, or instead of the x, I'm going to put in that -6 plus 4. So y equals, I owe you 6, I earned 4. I still need 2 points. So I'm going to have y equals -2. So let's see if that's the right answer. Y equals -2. Oh. Woo! 3 points. And for the most part, the majority of you guys are 100% done. Awesome job, guys. Let me zoom out. So for those of you guys who need a screenshot, you guys can take it. All right, give me a clap if you guys need more time with this activity, or if you need another picture, put it into chat so I can go to that screen. So everyone's good. Awesome. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on the homework. And we're actually gonna be done a lot quicker than first period. So woohoo. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put it, oh yes, I can go back to page 1. There is page 1. And then in chat, I am putting today's homework. Awesome. So this is today's homework. I'm going to type in my name, Doc 5. And Ms. Gomez made you guys a little like cartoon. So I'm going to share that with you guys. So if you guys click on that, it looks like this. So I'll read through it. It's super cute. But it says solving system of linear equations. What method should I use? So on your final, you guys get to choose between either graphing or solving it by substitution. Hopefully at this point after this activity, you feel a lot better. Like, give me a thumbs up. Who feels a lot better now that they've done this activity with substitution versus what you guys did yesterday? Who's still like, I still don't get any of this? Who's kind of in between? So a lot of you guys, some of you guys in between, okay. So as we go through this, we're gonna practice substitution today. We'll practice it again on Thursday. So we'll still get a lot of it. Awesome, thank you. So some of you guys are like, no, this made me like, I feel a lot more confident now. So awesome. So let's see what this little cartoon can help us out. Have you done your homework? Not yet, why? I need help deciding what method to use. I need help too. So graphing, when would you decide to use graphing? Look for slope-intercept form. So both of the equations you guys have y equals. So if it has y equals, it's probably an easy one to use graphing for, because I can see my slope and I can see my y-intercept. So here's an example. Y equals 3x minus 2, y equals negative 2x plus 1. That would be a good example to use graphing because they're both set as y equals. What about for substitution? When only one equation is solved for the variable. So here's an example. Y equals 2x minus 1, but this one does not have y equals. So this one is probably a good one for substitution. I would take this 2x minus 1 and I would plug it into this y. The first equation is already, as y equals, but the second equation doesn't. So with your emojis, give me a thumbs up. Do you guys think this would be better as graphing, or clap? Do you guys think it would be better for substitution? So thumbs up, is it graphing? Both of them are y equals. Give me a clap if only one of them are y equals. So for this one, I would probably say, one equation has y isolated, mean y equals. So this one would probably be best with substitution. Can you do it with both? Yes, and I will show you guys that in a second. But which one would be easier? Probably substitution, because that one, all we have to do is take that 3x and plug it into the y and then solve. What about this one on the right? Y equals negative 2x plus 6 and y equals 3x minus 8. Is that graphing? Thumbs up. Clap if it would be substitution. Which one would you guys think it should use? So thumbs up, graphing. Clap, substitution. And yeah, for this one, I would probably say graphing would be what I would use. Both equations are in y equals mx plus b. So yeah, graphing would be the easiest one to use. Again, could we use substitution? Totally. All I would have to do is set these both equal to each other. So I would have negative 2x plus 6, and I would replace that, and I would set it equal to 3x minus 8. Your turn to solve system of linear equations. You get to decide what method you want to use. So after watching that cute little thing, we're going to look at these problems. What you're going to do is you're given an equation here in the corner on all 4 pages. And then you personally will get to choose. Do you want to graph it or do you want to use substitution? Once you guys solve it, you guys can tell me I solved it by, I chose to solve it by graphing because I suck at equations. Or I, chose to do it by substitution because only one of these, only one of them had y equals. It does not matter which way you guys pick. So looking at questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will do one of these and I will do it both graphing and substitution. So pick which equation or which page you guys want me to work on. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which one would you guys like me to do? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, I have 1 vote for 1 and 2 votes for 2. So right now 2 is winning. All right, so I'm gonna do 2. For the one that wanted to do 1, you'll see me graph on question 2. So I'll help you with that. Actually, it's a nice thing that you guys pick this one, I think, because this one messes it up for you guys. So this one's actually very close to what we did for our homework yesterday. So I am going to look at this and then I'm going to think, only one of these has y equals. Since only one has y equals, I am probably going to use substitution. That's probably the easiest one. But I technically can use graphing and so I'm gonna have to mess around with it to do graphing because this isn't solved, but I'm still going to show you guys how you could do both. So let's do substitution first because this is already set up for substitution. So I am going to type it in again. What did we do in our activity today? We took this 2x and we plugged it into our y. So I'm going to type that. So we have negative 6x plus 3. And in parentheses, I'm going to put in that 2x equals 18. And if you guys want, you guys could, write down kind of like what we did in the other one, solve for x. If you kind of want to remind yourself, okay, I need to solve for x and then solve for y. If you kind of want to give yourself that reminder of which one you're solving for. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. It's just something that you might want to do. All right, so nothing happened to the 6x. And again, this is a piece that I added, so I'm going to change that color. So I have a negative 6x. And I am going to multiply a 3 times a positive 2. 3 times 2 gives me a positive 6x equals 18. What happens here? Kind of the exact same way as what we saw on that homework from yesterday. I owe you $6. I give you 6. That means my x's are going to go away. So what am I left with? Nothing. I'm left with 0. So 0 equals 18. What type of solution do I have? Do I end up having x equals or y equals? Or am I going to have one of those special cases where it's no solution or infinitely many? Is this true? Is 0 the same as 18? Awesome job, guys. No, this is not true. So what's the solution? No solution. No solution. So be careful. Again, if you have the same numbers, only they're opposite, and make sure that the sign, if it would have been 6x plus 6x, that gives me 12x. So be careful. If this was a negative and a negative, then that would give me a negative 12x. So watch your signs. Don't just automatically assume, oh, they have the same number, so it must be 0, or I need to add them. Be careful and pay attention to your signs. I would probably double check your signs whenever you see the same number twice. All right, so what would I have put as my explanation here. I chose to solve it by substitution because one of the equations was already solved for y. So you can say that. I'll give you a different one for the graphing. So this is one way that you could have done it. You could have done it by substitution. And again, I like substitutions. I like doing equations. But some of you guys don't like substitution and you don't like equations. So we could do it this way. I could do this. This one's already solved, so I can already tell myself that my slope is going to be 2 over 1. I'm going to go up 2 and 1 to the right. I don't have a y-intercept, so then that means my y-intercept is going to be 0. So I can already graph that. I can start here at 0. And I would probably draw my lines and go over, or at least zoom in a lot to make sure that you guys do this correctly. And then some of you guys weren't drawing your lines long enough. So make sure that your lines extend all the way to the other side. So that would be very helpful. However, this equation is not solved. So here's the problem with doing that. I'm going to retype it. I need to make this look like that. So I need the y by itself. So I am going to have to add 6x to both sides. Now, some of you guys are confused and going, wait a second. I thought she said we didn't have to do both of them. You don't. I am doing both only because some of you guys might not be good at substitution. So you want to do it all through graphing. I'm showing you it doesn't matter which one that you guys pick. You will always get the same answer. You only pick one way to do it. If you guys do both ways, you cannot come to me and be like, can I get extra credit for that? That means you weren't following directions. So no, you don't get extra credit. So 3y equals 6x plus 12. Not 12, 18. Divide all of these by 3. And I get y equals 3 goes into 6. Notice that the 6 is bigger on the top, so that's going to give me a whole number. That's going to be a 2x. If the 6 was on the bottom, I would have had 1/2. Plus 3 goes into 18 6 times. So what's my slope? My slope is 2 over 1. So up 2, 1 to the right. And what's my y-intercept? It's at 6. But notice here, look at your slopes. They're the same. Look at the y-intercept. They are different. So this should give me a no solution. So let's just double check and make sure that it does. So I start at 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And then connect my dots. And yep, they don't touch at all. So what's my solution? No solution. So what would have been your thing here? I solved it by graphing because I am much better at graphing than substitution or than solving equations. Either way, again, we still got the same answer. Depending on what you guys like to do, you can do one or the other. If you guys want to draw a big X down the one that you're not using, you guys can do that. I would probably suggest that so that you don't get confused on that. But that's it, guys. We actually finished a lot sooner than expected. And if you guys notice, you guys got 2 exit tickets. So you are supposed to do them both. So do them both. This exit ticket's for today. This one's for tomorrow, but there's no reason why you shouldn't do it today. So you have 2 exit tickets. So I noticed that a lot of you guys weren't doing the PBI, the exit tickets soon enough for tomorrow. So there's 0 reason why you guys can't do it because I'm asking you guys to do them both right now. So do them both. And then that's it. Work on your missing assignments. Can I see the problem we did together to screenshot it? Yeah. Not that one. That one. There you go. And then that's it, guys. Have a very good day. I will see you guys on Thursday. Please make sure that you are working on all of these assignments. And have a good day. Bye.